What up, folks? It's your man AngGeon hitting you with a brand spanking new top 10. That's right, today we're going to get into 10 of my favorite hip-hop movies. But before we go any further, go ahead and hit the like. If you ain't digging this video by the end of it, just hit the thumbs down. No hard feelings, right? Alright, man, we're going to hop right into this. Starting off at number 10, we got 2003's Malibu's Most Wanted. Now, this one is directed by John Whitesell. It's a movie that has Jamie Kennedy in there. He's playing this character named B-Rad. It also has Taye Diggs and Anthony Anderson there. They're in there for some supporting roles. B-Rad, he loves black culture and hip-hop, and he's kind of corny. And he has these trust fund baby type friends that are into hip hop and the culture. As father, he's running for governor, and he hires these black actors, which just so happens to be Taye Diggs and Anthony Anderson, and they pretend to be like the gangster or whatever, and they try to scare B-Rad into being, I guess, quote unquote, white. B-Rad just loves black culture. He loves rap. He's trying to be a rapper. So what they do is they take him to the hood and they try to scare him with actual black people and stuff. But he ends up loving the people and they end up loving him too. And it has like this whole parody thing where it's kind of making fun of 8 Mile too. But yeah, man, that's number 10. That's Malibu's Most Wanted with Jamie Kennedy in there. One of my favorite parts is when like, don't be hating, don't be hating. And then there's also this scene where the actors, Anthony Anderson and Taye Diggs' characters, they're in the liquor store and they see this lady, this Korean lady, and they act like they're scared once they get back to the car. I thought that was pretty funny. It's kind of old school. But anyway, we're gonna move into number 9, and this one's coming from one of my favorite years as a youngin. This is 1994's Above the Rim, and it's directed by Jeff Pollock. It's his directorial debut. This one has Dwayne Martin, it has Tupac, it has Marlon Wayans, Bernie Mac in there, and the dude Leon, if you know him from the movies back in the day. It has this talented b-baller. He's from NYC, Harlem to be specific. It's Dwayne Martin's character, and he's kind of struggling between getting his scholarship and the street life, and he kind of gets caught up in this drug dealing stuff. His mom is kind of falling in love with the former superstar of his current basketball team, which is the character Leon plays. And of course, all the ladies used to be obsessed with Leon back in the day. The soundtrack was pretty dope. It was released on Death Row. I remember it had some jams on there. One of my favorites was actually Big Pimpin'. It went 2 times platinum too. And that was the last theatrical release that Tupac had before he passed away in '96. Anyway, Above the Rim, it has some pretty funny scenes in there. It has some cool shots with him playing some basketball at the Rucker. Man, it's going down in that movie. Bernie Mac and Marlon Wayans, they also have some cool, pretty funny scenes in there. It's pretty dramatic. It might tug on your emotions too. I don't really get emotional when I watch movies, but that one's a pretty good one. It might make some people emotional. I'm pretty sure my lady will be crying. Anyway, we did watch that. But anyway, we're gonna move into number 8, and that one is coming from 2006. None other than Georgia's own. This is called Idlewild, and this one stars Outkast. It has Terrence Howard in it. It has Paula Patton. It has Cicely Tyson and Ving Rhames in there. In this movie, it has Percival, which is the character that Andre 3000 plays. He's the son of this owner of a morgue, and he works there. And then in the daytime and the nighttime, he works at this nightclub, the local nightclub in Idlewild, Georgia, kind of the countryside. He has this best friend who is actually Big Boy, the character that Big Boy is playing. His name is Rooster. This movie is directed by Brian Barber too, by the way. He did a few of their videos. Anyway, this one, it's 1935, and then this nightclub, and Paula Patton, she's having a hard time trying to sing her songs, and Andre's character, he gives her a song that he wrote, and it's a hit, and they start popping. And Rooster's, he's becoming a singer, and he starts getting into street life and stuff, some drama with the gangsters and everything, and they're trying to make it big. And then you have some sad love story things going on in the background also with Andre's character and Paula Patton's character. It's a pretty cool movie. It's a musical too. It has like some mixed ratings from the critics, but I enjoyed this movie. It was actually the last album that Outkast put out, if you want to be technical. Anyway, we're gonna move into this next one, and that one's number 7. Hey though, number 7. This is one that I saw at the theaters with my cousin. We were so excited for it. It's 2004. The director is Chris Stokes. If you already know where I'm going, You Got Served. This one is starring B2K. It's got all of them in there, I think. I know Marion's in there, Lil Fizz is in there, Raz B's in there, Marcus Houston is in there, Jennifer Freeman's also in there. You got Megan Good and Steve Harvey in there too, and a couple appearances for some hip-hop artists, and even the dude that accused Michael Jackson of some pretty shady stuff, he's in there as one of the villains, if you will. This movie, it follows this LA hip-hop crew. They're on their way, they're competing, trying to earn their money and respect around the town. town. The main characters, they get caught up in some dealings with the local thugs, and on top of that, they get double crossed by one of their former members and one of their former crew dance members, and they kind of face this challenge of the rival crew coming along and stealing their moves, and they have this competition that's going on where they're trying to win like 50K or something like that. It's got some of the coolest scenes in there, some iconic scenes like when Omarion and Marcus Houston's character, they're dancing in the rain, and that looks pretty dope. And then they have some cool scenes with Steve Harvey, and I think even Lil' Kim is in there. The beats are banging. It's a straight up hip hop movie. You see all types of hip hop dancing. It's giving you all of those elements, except for actual rapping. And it's not really much rapping in this movie, but you get all those elements of like hip hop dancing and graffiti and the culture that comes with it. It's pretty dope. It has this corny factor to it, but yo, I remember buying the choreography DVD. I was trying to learn that shit. It's highly enjoyable though, I would say that. And it's got some pretty iconic dance scenes and some cool family humor, of course, with Steve Harvey and being in there, whatever. We're gonna move right on to number 6. This one is coming from actually the following year. It's 2005. It's directed by Jim Sheridan. This one is starring 50 Cent, and it is called Get Rich or Die Trying. We also have Joy Bryan in there, Terrence Howard, Viola Davis, Adewale Akinnuyi is in there. Also, there was a soundtrack that accompanied this one. This is pretty much the autobiography of Mr. Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent himself, but they kind of loosely base it on his story and his life experiences as he was growing up, pretty much orphaned. His mom dies, his pops wasn't around, and he's this NYC street kid. He kind of gets into some trouble. He's trying to hustle. Then he's kind of pursuing this hip hop career, and he discovers that he's actually pretty good at it. It's essentially this American dream of from rags to riches, and it has that classic tale and those elements to it. Despite the amateur acting that we get from 50 Cent, it's pretty cool and inspiring to see his whole story unfold. You know, he got shot 9 times in an ambush in New York one night, back in, I think it was year 2000 or 99, something like that, when he was popping off with his mixtapes. But you see his story, some of it is fictional, but you know, they pretty much tell the ground basis of 50 Cent's story and his come up to being the mogul that he is right now, and the businessman. He's an iconic person, and it reminds me of another artist. Actually, it's actually the artist that discovered him and gave us 50 Cent in the first place. I'm talking about Shady Records. I'm talking about number 5. We're gonna go ahead and get into number 5 because, bitch, you guessed it, number 5 is 8 Mile, and this one is coming from 2002. It's directed by Curtis Hanson. It's starring Eminem. You got Brittany Murphy in there. You got Anthony Mackie in there. You got Kim Basinger in there, and a few more people like Mekhi Phifer and stuff. This one is a cool fact. Seth Rogen, he actually tried out for one of the supporting characters, which is Cheddar Bob, who has pretty much like a comedic relief character in there for the movie. Anyway, this is the story of Eminem's come up, and like the Get Rich or Die Trying story, it's pretty much like the autobiography of the great Eminem himself, Mr. Marshall Mathers. It's pretty dope. It's where we get the iconic song Lose Yourself. That was on that soundtrack. But anyway, it shows the story of Eminem. He's coming up. He's just like this factory worker, and he gets involved with the underground rap scene. He starts competing, battling people to the likes of Mr. Anthony Mackie himself. He's playing this character named Papa Doc. Anyway, Eminem is proving himself, and you know, he gets into some drama with the local people, the local rappers, and the thugs around the neighborhood. They're bullying him, but he doesn't stop. It shows his angst and his courage and his determination to be somebody great, and he proves himself. It's a pretty dope movie, and it's a pretty dope come-up story, and man, Eminem is one of the greatest. If you disagree, let me know in the comments below. If not, let me know one of your favorite Eminem tracks. I'm gonna tell you an underrated track from Eminem that I love, Amityville. Bizarre's verse is pretty crazy, but Eminem's verse it's kind of crazy too, huh? But his flow and his imagination is pretty insane and entertaining. Anyway, we're gonna move into number 4, and that is the classic. That is the classic known as House Party. We're going back to 1990 with this one, 1991 990. Now, I was barely like going on 4, something like that. Yeah, man, I think I was living with my Aunt Pat. I was living in between Watts and Gardena, living with my grandmother on 92nd and Holmes, and living with my Aunt Pat over there near Raleigh Park, if you're familiar. Anyway, this one is directed by Reginald Hudlin. It's starring Chris Reed Kid and Chris Martin Play. This is Kid and Play, man. This also has Tisha Campbell in it. It has Martin Lawrence, Robin Harris, rest in peace. And it has both AJ Johnsons in there. I'm talking about Adrian Joy and Anthony Johnson. It also has Clifton Powell in there. But this is the story of these high school kids, Kid and Play. They're best friends. And we have Play. He's more of the mischievous character. He's into the girls. He's trying to get them, and he's trying to throw this high school party on the low where nobody knows. We also get a bunch of sequels of this movie, House Play. There's like 1, 2, 3, and then there's a bunch of extra spin-offs from there. And then we also got a 2023 remake earlier this year. I saw that one too. It had LeBron in there. It wasn't that bad. Everybody was kind of complaining about it on Twitter and online. I mean, X. How y'all feel about Elon turning Twitter into X? I hate that name. Anyway, yo, this movie House Party, it has tons of quotables and iconic scenes. The dudes are dancing together. They're doing the infamous Kid and Play dance. They're doing their whole battle rapping back and forth on stage, performing for the party and everything. They're getting their dance on with AJ Johnson's character and Tisha Campbell's character. It's got the high school teeny bopper love thing going on. And one of my favorite parts is in there when the local bullies are chasing them through the neighborhood because they're trying to throw this party on the low key, but people are kind of ruining it, the local bullies. And there's a scene when they pull up to the house when the party's actually getting cracking, and they weren't invited really, so they're kind of pissed off. And they bust this one scene there at the front door. They like, hold on, I'm gonna just play it. Yeah. Anyway, that's House Party. That's number 4. That came out in 1990. I remember having that on VHS. I used to watch that all the time. I watched it with my lady during COVID. Can we say that on YouTube? I don't know. But I'm gonna move right on to number 3. We're gonna get right on to number 3, man. And moving along with this one is a classic. Yo, if you don't know this one, you need to go ahead and check this out. This is a hip hop classic. It's part of the culture. It's the beginning. It's the origins. This is 1984's Beat Street, and it's directed by Stan Lathan, who also came out with the show Martin, if you're familiar with that. I talked about it in one of my videos recently. But yeah, it has Guy Davis in there. It's starring Robert Taylor. Ray Don Chan is in there. And it also has Kadeem Hardison in there. Kadeem Hardison is also in there. This one, it's coming from Harry Belafonte. He produced this one, and I found that out upon my research. It's a classic film that boasts the forefront of early hip-hop, the culture, and the elements, DJing, graffiti, rap, breakdancing. It all started in New York, and it follows these two brothers as they're going through the city, trying to put their talents on display. They also have their homie, Ramon. He's a graffiti artist. He has a very touching story. I don't want to ruin it, so you guys should just go ahead and check it out. It's these dudes, man, it's these kids, they're trying to show off how good they are at breakdancing. They're hoping to reach the people outside of their local neighborhood, which is the Bronx. This movie is the embodiment of hip hop and the origins, and holds a special place in my heart because I used to watch this with my brother. This is one of those movies I used to bond with my brother with, and my cousin Corey, my brother Tyrone, my brother Dwight. He was a breakdancer back in the 80s. It's got the breakdancing, it's got the graffiti, it's got the rapping and the DJing. It's pure I love hip hop. If you've never seen it before, go check out Beat Street. That's number 3 on my list. We're gonna go ahead and move into number 2. Number 2, we getting groovy up in this joint. Number 2 is Breaking 2. This is coming from 1984 also too. This one's directed by Sam Furstenberg. It's starring Lucinda Dickey. It has Adolfo Shabadoo Quinones, and it also has my dude Michael Boogaloo Shrimp Chambers, also known as Turbo, and Shabadoo is known as Ozone. This one follows this LA dance crew. This one is a sequel too. It follows this LA dance group. They're coming up in different social backgrounds. We have this rich girl Kelly, Turbo and Ozone. They're from the hood, and they're all sharing the love of hip hop and dance and art and theater. And somehow this movie is in a musical format, and it just hits all the pockets and the elements of hip hop. You see everything that embodies hip hop. It's got these phenoms in there. These dancers are incredible. There's also the iconic scene where you have Turbo. This is what I remember as a kid. I remember my brother used to play this scene on rewind or something on the VHS because it's stuck in my head, and we didn't have the movie on VHS, but somebody did, and they must have let us borrow it, or maybe we rented it from Blockbuster or something. But yo, there's this iconic scene with Turbo. He's breakdancing in the room. He's trying to attract this young Latina hottie, and then he goes inside this room. He starts breakdancing, right? pulls himself on the bed. He pulls himself up on the bed, and then all of a sudden, he's breakdancing on the walls, then he's breakdancing on the ceiling, then he's doing, you know what? Check it out right here. This is iconic. This is one of my favorite scenes in cinema, in film. This is one of my favorite scenes ever when it comes to hip hop. I hope you love it too. This is from Breaking 2. Man, it's replicated in so many hip hop music videos, and yo, those infamous windmills and knee spins and that moonwalk, it magically just pulls off the essence of hip hop. I love this joint. Breaking 2, number 2 on my list. We're gonna move into number 1. Number one is Juice. It's coming from 1992. It's directed by Ernest Dickerson. This one is a story. It's a tale of these 4 Harlemites. These dudes, they're high school buddies, and it gives us this glimpse of the life of black teens growing up in NYC in the early 90s. We journey with them as they go into this skipping school, they're hanging out at the apartments and stealing records, because one of the main characters, played by Omar Epps, his name is Q, and he's obsessed with DJ, and he's trying to make it big with DJ, and there's a cameo from Queen Latifah. She's trying to give him the chance of his lifetime. But we have this character named Bishop, played by Tupac, and the rest of the crew, we have Khalil King, he's playing the character, and we also have Samuel L. Jackson, he's playing the character from the liquor store. But Bishop, he's getting corrupted by this harsh lifestyle that he is living in the hood and NYC. It's kind of messing up his brain, and he's becoming a bully towards his crew. He's influencing them to get into trouble. He's pretty much the troublemaker of the crew. And he starts bullying people, and he gets tired of getting bullied by the local Puerto Rican gang. He starts retaliating, doing his thing, and he goes over and he crosses the line a little bit too much. But we do have Q in the background with his DJ obsession. He's still trying to make it, but yo, it has some tragic moments in it. It has some scary moments in it. My wife, Carolina, she said that this movie is actually a horror movie. It's not a drama, it's a horror movie, Juice. Because Tupac's character is so menacing.
I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about Steel. And I don't give a fuck about Raheem either. I don't give a fuck about myself. I ain't shit. I ain't never gonna be shit. And you less of a man than me, so as soon as I decide that you ain't gonna be shit, so be it.
And he's messing it up for the whole crew. And it has this whole dark pathway that he goes down, and we journey with him, and we see how it brings down the crew, but it isn't the end of him. Anyway, that's number 1 on my list. That's Juice. Tell me how much you love that movie if you've ever seen it, because I bet you do. Anyway, here's a cool fact. Donald Faison, he actually auditioned for the role of Bishop, which is Tupac's character, but he was bested by Mr. Shakur himself, and he didn't get that spot, but he did make some cameos in the movie. Yeah, that's number 1 on my list. Juice, 1992. Rest in peace, Tupac, and everybody else has been on this list. Ramon! Yo, thank you for sticking with me through this list, this top 10 joint, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Go ahead and hit the like. Go ahead and check out the pinned comment that's in the top of this video. Let me know what you think about it. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter, and stay tuned because I got some brand new tunes coming straight for you. And this is your man AngGeon. I'm about to hop up out of here because I got some more stuff to do, and I got some more stuff to get to. We gonna drop some more videos. Hit the like. Go listen to Shaolin Spin. More music coming in August. It's your man AngGeon, us the folks. I appreciate you, and I'm out of here. Peace.
I like to do anything for the Klondike, and it's been this way ever since prom night. Been dimming them out from the spotlight, plus dancing with devils in sunlight.